kid, you making decisions over my kid or where my money, because it's my money. We pay a fortune in property taxes. We all do. Even if we're just a renter, you pay it. You end up paying it. So they need to be held accountable. And when they only want to be transparent and talk to us, then yeah, and it is part of their school board director duties. So does that help, Brian?
Yeah, so it sounds like you are in favor of recalling them because you believe they're breaking the law.
I guess you could say that, yes. Or so let me put it this way. My not being a lawyer, my research says, yes, you're not adhering to your duties, which is a law. However, if the judge says no, they're not breaking the law, I will respect that. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, I think it may make it difficult for you to work with them afterwards.
And I don't think so. And it might with their opinion of me. And I agree. Perhaps their opinion of me, not my opinion of them. We have had so much interaction, especially with President Long. When the person who came to us about her, I actually was very disappointed. And Rob can contest. I'm like, dang it, this really stinks, Rob, because I felt like we finally had a decent working relationship going on. And part of it was like, too, like, well, maybe we didn't. Maybe you're just strolling me along. I mean, the fact that you're not even doing these things, you're doing something different than what I thought you heard told me. I was disappointed. That's where, when we found out the information on President Long. Her and Cindy came to the park with Mr. Newtonboom, met with our parents. Rob and I have met numerous times with President Long. I have met with Mr. Newtonboom and President Long. We have tried. We're being labeled as these radical, crazy people who want to overturn the board and take total control. We have tried all summer. We've been meeting with them, working with them, saying this is what the parents want. This is what the parents want. Can we work together on these things? I think we made significant headway with CRT, however we're defining it. However, they're saying equity or equality. I think we made significant headway there, and also with sex ed. I think we really did. So that being said, we've been working together, and she's actually emailed me probably 2 weeks ago or so about what they were doing. She's like, hey, just FYI, this is what we're doing for our employees in the district. So I appreciate that. Secondly, I work with people who we don't agree with politically. I don't agree with them politically or religiously at all. I adore them. I love them. I respect them. They're some of my best friends. And they respect me back. When the vaccine came out, they came to me and said, you're not getting it, are you? I'm like, no. And they're like, okay. And off we went. Because we respect each other. We roll up our sleeves. We work very hard for the best of our nursing students. And to say that again, I work for Washington State University and I don't speak for them. I don't speak on behalf of Washington State University. They've asked that I make that disclaimer everywhere. So I don't. I know. I've got him. So that's respect. I respect people. I also am a strong Christian. We all have worth based on us being children of God, whether you believe in him or not. He created all of us. He wants the best for all of us. And that's what I respect. I respect the humanness in people. So that's how I would work with them. And even Rob's told me, he's like, you think it's tough now, wait till you get elected. If you get elected and you do. And I'm like, I've been in tough situations. I sat in curriculum meetings all summer long, the only one wearing a mask, as they're mouthing about how horrible these unvaccinated people are, in front of my face, despite them respecting me when we worked together. And then it's like, please just, can we stop? And can we just work on the curriculum? And we did. So, I'm going to move on. If you want to grab me afterwards, please. I'd so much rather talk to you than Facebook issue stuff. Rob, what do I? I think you were just clarifying things. Natalie with critical race theory. So something about critical race theory, because obviously I worked on curriculum this summer. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are big things that as we're revising our curriculum, we got to make sure that is in our curriculum. However, the definitions that the university is using are actually good. We do need diversity. And we do need to be, they're not saying equity as in we need to bring the bar down. They're saying we just need to treat everybody equitably as far as give everybody what they need. And that's what I agree too. I mean, if you, the people on the curriculum revision program with me. It's not at all. So I'm very impressed with Wazoo's School of Nursing, honestly. And inclusion, when I read the definition of inclusion, it was fabulous. Like, we need to include, everybody needs to be included in the classrooms despite, and it lists, everything, your sex, your race, your whether you're transgender. And like, well, yeah, if we can stick to these definitions, this is fabulous. So at least at the university level, there's no talk of you're an oppressor, you're not, vice versa. It seems to be the K through 12 is where they're funneling more of the divisive terms in, which is not okay. It definitely is not. I don't agree with it. Anytime that you, just like was said, anytime you talk about we're going to talk race and divide you on race, it's wrong. And people say, well, there's black people that really need help. I'm like, there's white people that really need help. There's black people that are doing really well. And there's white people that are doing really well. And there's Asians. I mean, that's not how we divide. It's on need. So if a student comes to school, I don't care what color you are. If you need lunch, free lunch, you get free lunch. If you need a resource room teacher, you get a resource room teacher. If you need evaluated because for an IEP, you get evaluated for an IEP. So that's my stance on critical race theory. Unfortunately, I think the state's going to try and bring it down and funnel it through every subject. So that'll be very interesting. Other than back to the law with the district, and this is why it's so important to maintain local control and fight for local control of your school board, because they do have control over the curriculum. They can make decisions on the curriculum. Sean, you kind of talked about that too. I love your comments. Sonia with the grants, your frustration. Sonia, where are you? Did I address your frustrations with the board not answering questions? Yeah. I think. Kylie with the kindergarten. Oh my gosh. So our youngest, we have 5 children. One of them adopted through the foster system and acquired another by marriage. And then Chad acquired 3 by marriage. And then we have one of our own. So we're a blended family. But between all 5 of them through CV, our last one's kind of still hanging out. She's 13. She is a social butterfly. Lunchtime is a time to talk. And I can't imagine how she would be now where she couldn't even talk in class. She's starved every day. To where I'm like, I'm going to quit paying for hot lunch because all you do is sit down with it and talk, and then they make you get up and throw it away. And that was 20 minutes. So that is horrible. They're even making it shorter to 15. So I love that. Yeah, it needs to be addressed. Yeah, these kids need to be able to have ample time to eat lunch. And the silent light, I've never heard of that. That's horrible, Rebecca. A silent light, oh my gosh. And I wonder if was that before COVID?
Yes.
Seriously. That is horrible. I am sorry. That's horrible.
Because I spoke up sorry, I ruined it. That they're like, okay, now you can't come in the cafeteria as a parent. You have to go in a separate, secluded room with your child.
That's horrible. No, you guys, and we wonder why our kids have a mental health problem. And then if this is especially before COVID, oh my gosh, no. Now we have to the board needs to be able to look at every decision and in light with the principals and the teachers too, every decision and how will what we do, what is the fallout, how will that affect our kids, especially mental health wise. I mean, we have to, learning obviously is that's priority, but we have to make sure our kids are safe. And by safety, it's also their mental health too.